Finding the file extensions of the unknown file types. Before moving forward to the major part, let's understand about the file extension. Okay, what is this file extension? See, the file extensions are an essential component of file naming used in most operating systems. So a file extension is a set of characters. You may have seen one if you have a file, then after the name of that file, after the dot at the end of your file name, you will see some type of 3 or 4 letters, the extension that is called as an extension. It is used to identify the format and type of your file, which helps the operating system and the application software determine how to handle the file, and especially it will be helpful for us. By seeing that extension, we'll come to know, oh, this is text document, this is Word document, this is presentation document, and this is other documents. There are so many extensions. So based on that, it will also help us, not only operating system, it will also help us to identify what type of file it is. So the file type, the file extension is important. Okay, so how it is important in forensics investigations, that's what we are looking in this section. So the importance of file extensions. The file extensions lies in their ability to help us, as I said earlier, to identify the type of file and the software required to open it. Different file types require different software to run, and using the appropriate software is essential to view and manipulate the contents of the file. As you all already familiar with the files and their extensions, right? There are so many file types, so many file extensions, but we are familiar with few of them. So for example, the .docx file extension, it indicates it is as a Microsoft Word document. Similarly, while a .jpg extension indicates a JPEG image file, right? Here is a table, okay, with examples of common file extensions. We can have a look on these extensions like .txt, it is plain text, okay, and .docx Microsoft Word document, XLSX Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, PPT Microsoft PowerPoint, like that, PDF, JPG, PNG, GIF, MP3, MP4, zip, RAR, etc., and even the ISO file, that is the image files, and HTML, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files, JS, PHP, source code, etc., etc. Okay, so these are some few commonly used file extensions. Don't worry, the table will be shared for reference, okay, and it is also available on internet. But note, this table is not exhaustive, and there are many more file extensions in use. Also, some file extensions may have multiple users or be used by different software applications. So this is not limited, okay. The table is, we have just listed few of that. File extensions also help to protect files from malware and other security threats. So the malicious software often behaves as legitimate files, the original file, using similar or identical file names but different extensions like .exe and all. Therefore, knowing the actual file extension of a file can help you identify whether it is a legitimate file or a potential threat or some malware. So that file extension will help you to know what it is. And apart from this, after the importance of file extensions, let's have a look on errors, some of the errors of file extensions. So what are those? However, errors with file extension can occur due to various reasons, It has not only one or two reasons, there are various reasons. Let's list few of them which are important. The most common error is when a file extension is changed or removed unintentionally. Okay, that is one reason. For example, if your file extension is changed, okay, if we change the document, the text document file, that is .txt file, to .docx file, what will happen? The Microsoft Office will not help us to open the notepad file in it, right? That is the one error, that is changing or removing unintentionally. Another error is when a file extension is incorrect or incompatible with the file format, which may lead to corruption or loss of data. Or even sometimes what will happen during the investigation, we may have received a file without extension. We have the file with a name. Okay, so what we will do, we will try to, for example, let's assume that the file which we have received is we have a JPG file. Okay, what we will do, we will just put after the name, we'll just put the dot and then put as docx, .ppt, JPG. Apart from JPG, we'll try to put PNG, etc, etc. So instead of putting JPG, we are trying to use different extensions. We don't know on which extension it will work, and accidentally if we try to put JPG and it has an open one, that is okay, we have tried our best and we got it. But there are different extensions, we can't keep on trying, right? So we have to use some tools to identify the extensions of it. Okay, so that is one error of putting the extension, that is incorrect extensions of the file. So to find the file extension of your file, we may generally follow simple steps. Okay, what we will do if we don't know the file extensions, as I earlier discussed, that we are keep on trying different extensions to open the file. So apart from that, there are also simple steps which we used to follow generally. Okay, for example, I have a file. We will view the file name in the file explorer or desktop. The file extension should be visible at the end of the file name, right? So in this case, the file extension is not visible at all. You can only able to see the file without extension. If the file extension is not visible, we can try changing the settings in the file explorer to show file extensions. Okay, let's do it. So here the file extension is .txt. So I know this file will open in Notepad as the extension is .txt. But already the file type or its extension is known to the Windows operating system as well as us, right? So if I simply double click it or right click and open, the Windows will open the file in a Notepad, because Windows already know that it is a .txt file and it has to be opened in Notepad. So that is known file extension. Alternatively, you can open the file in the appropriate software and check the file type and format information. Most applications will display this information in the file properties or information dialog box. Okay, what if we don't know the file extension of a file? If you don't know the file extension of your file, there are several ways you can try to identify it. For example, this is also, let's take as general. Okay, generally what we will do, we'll look at the file properties, right click on the file, select properties and look for information about the file type in the type of file or file type field. Okay, and next we'll check the file name. Sometimes the file name itself can provide a clue about the file type. For example, a file name document is likely to be a text document, while a file name image is likely to be an image file. So the file name will represent the file type, and we'll use a identifier tool There are several software programs and online tools available that can help you identify the file type based on the file's content. This tool analyzes the file's data and compare it to a database of known file types to determine the file type. Okay, so in this case the above two solutions did not work, so we have other unknown file types. So we tried this, but in this case these two solutions have not worked. So what we will do, we'll try to perform it forensically. Okay, basically it is important to exercise caution when operating files or opening the files. If you are not sure what their file type is, especially if the file was received from an unknown source, some files may contain malicious code that can harm your computer. Therefore, it is a good idea to scan the file with antivirus software, okay, before opening it. I'm just telling it generally, okay, when you are not doing any investigations, okay, that time you can use this step. While you are on investigation and you are dealing with suspects hard disk, okay, seized computer, seized data, that time you should not perform this. We'll discuss it next. And sometimes you may have received the file imaging the suspect's hard disk, right? While you have imaged the hard disk of the suspect, you have received the files and you are not sure what their file type is. So in order to find the file extension of a suspect's file, you should avoid identifying the file type by uploading to the online tools. You should not upload any suspect data to online tool, okay? But why should we avoid it? See, in digital forensics, uploading a file recovered from a suspect's drive or data to an online file analysis service or a virus scanner, which will compromise the integrity, okay, which can compromise the integrity of the evidence and potentially compromise the investigation. Here are some reasons why. Chain of custody. Uploading a file recovered from a suspect's drive or data to an online service which breaks the chain of custody, which is a record of every person who has handled the evidence since it was collected. Any break in the chain of custody can raise questions about the authenticity of the evidence and may render it inadmissible in court. Okay, that is number one reason. Next, altering the file. Uploading a file to an online service or virus scanner, the antivirus, it can modify the file's metadata or other identifying information, which can make it more difficult to prove the file's authenticity. Okay. Next, privacy concerns. Uploading a file to an online service may also raise privacy concerns, especially if the file contains sensitive or confidential information. It will get exposed. Jurisdictional issues. Uploading a file to an online service may also raise jurisdictional issues. See, if the service is located in different country or operates under different law than the investigating agency, so that will become a major issue. Okay. And note, in general, it is best to avoid uploading files recovered from a suspect drive or data to any online services or third-party tools. Instead, forensic analyst or forensic investigator should use specialized forensic software and techniques to analyze the file's metadata and other identifying information to determine its type and any other relevant information. This helps ensure that the integrity of the evidence is maintained and that it can be used effectively in court if necessary. So for that purpose, we can go with WinHex. Okay, WinHex is a forensic software tool that is commonly used for data recovery, computer forensics, and digital investigations. It is a hexadecimal editor that allow user to view and edit binary data on a disk or in memory. So this software is designed for digital forensic professionals who need to recover lost data, examine disk images, and they can investigate computer systems and perform other digital forensic tasks using this WinHex. So WinHex offers a range of features that make it a powerful tool for digital investigations, which includes like disk editing, RAM analysis, data recovery, password recovery, and forensic analysis. Like WinHex includes a variety of forensic analysis features such as the ability to create timeline, perform keyword searches, and it can also analyze file signatures. So basically this lecture is based on finding the file extension, right? So we will use file signatures for that purpose, as WinHex will give us the file signatures. Based on that only we can able to find the file extension. Okay, so we will use file signatures for that purpose. So what is this file signature? It is also known as magic numbers or file headers, which are unique sequence of bytes that identify the format and content of a file. So file signatures are usually located at the beginning of a file and can be used to identify the file type, even if the file extension has been changed or is missing. So while performing the practical, you will come to know where the file signature are located. Okay, so let's download the WinHex tool. It can be downloaded from the official website of WinHex. Let's visit the official website of WinHex. Okay. So let's click on this link. Okay, now we are on the official website of WinHex. As we can see, this version of WinHex is supported on 32 or 64-bit versions and other operating system as well. Okay. So just click on the download tab, which is placed on the left side. And wait for the download to complete. Once the download is complete, double click on the downloaded file to start the installation process and follow the on-screen instruction to install WinHex on your computer. You people are good at installing the softwares. I know you can do it. I have already installed it on my workstation, so I'm not going to redo it. Okay. And note, WinHex is a commercial software program and requires a license to use beyond the trial period. So basically WinHex will give the trial period for approximately 45 days. Okay, so after that you can purchase a license from the official website of WinHex or from a licensed reseller. Now you can download it for the practical purpose. You have 45 days of time. Once you download it, please use it before the trial period ends. Okay, now we are on our WinHex tool that is ready to use. So let's perform the practical of finding file extensions of unknown file types using file signature in WinHex. Okay, so for that demonstration, let's take the file. Okay, so on my screen I have a known JPG image file. Okay, so I have taken a known type. Okay, before going to the unknown type, let's understand how it works. Now I have a known JPG file which is visible on the screen, right? Let's check its file signature. What I will do, I simply drag and drop the file on WinHex tool. Okay, you can even go to the file and open from there, but it is simple to just drag and drop the file extension file on the WinHex. So I'll just go with the simple thing. Now you can see that the JPG images JPG image, as we have uploaded only one. It begins with the hexadecimal value, that is FF, D8 and FF. In decimal it is like 255216255 something, okay, which represent this FF, FF. It represent the file signature, okay, the magic marker. It represent as it is a JPG file, okay. So this is where we will find the file signature, and based on this we will identify the file extension. So here in this JPG file case, we can see that the file signature is the hexadecimal FF, D8 FF, which means it is a JPG file, as the extension of the file was known to us, okay. So before uploading this file to the WinHex tool, we already know that the file is JPG image file. Now we need to identify some unknown file types. For that purpose, I have some unknown file types which were recovered from the suspect's computer. Let's perform the file extension on those files. What I will do is I'll simply repeat the same process, like drag and drop the file on WinHex tool. Now we can see that the file begins with decimal value, that is 25, 50, 44, 46. You can go and select from 0 to 8 characters, okay. I'll select starting 4. Now we need to find the file signature using this decimal value. So to check out the file extensions, you can refer to any online file signatures, but for the educational purpose, we have provided the file signatures on our website called Nyayik Vigyan. It will be updated regularly and all the file signatures will be available at one place, okay. For that purpose, I have a table of file signatures, also known as magic numbers, okay. Let's search the decimal value in that table. We can see that it is the file signature for a PDF file. The 25, 50, 44, 46 file signature is nothing but it is a PDF file, okay. Let me use this and let me put this file extension .pdf into the file and open it. Okay, so now we recovered the file. Another file, let's drag and drop. Now we can see that the file begins with the hexadecimal value, that is 8950 4E 470D 0A 1A and 0A. Now we need to find the file signature using this decimal value. So in the table of file signatures, let's search the hexadecimal value in that table. we can see that it is a file signature for PNG file, as it displayed %PNG. Okay, so this is how this WinHex tool will help us to find the unknown file types to its known extension. Okay, so during an investigation, while you people are working on the investigation or on any case and found the unknown file types, then you can use this method, which will help you to find the file extension and the file type. Okay, so for that purpose, for your practice, I will try to share this table of file signature, that is magic numbers. Okay, like that I will give some unknown file types for practice. So just try by yourself on this files and find the file types or its extension. Okay, let's move to importance of files signatures. The file signatures are important in digital forensics because they can be used to identify the content of a file. Even if the file extension has been changed or is missing, it will help us to identify it. And this is particularly useful when investigating cases involving file tampering or when dealing with any malware that attempts to hide its true file type. Okay, that time this file signature will help us. In addition to using file signature to identify file types, forensic analysts can also use them to detect file corruption or other irregularity in the file. And by comparing the file signature of a suspect file to the expected signature for that file type, analysis or during an analysis can quickly determine if the file has been altered or corrupted in any way. So overall, file signatures are an important tool in digital forensics and can help the investigator or the analyst identify the contents of a file and detect any attempts to hide or alter its true type. So for that purpose, we will use WinHex. As I said earlier, that it is best to avoid uploading files recovered from a suspect's drive or data to any online services, right? So some people may have doubt of using WinHex, whether the data will get exposed or the authenticity of the data will be lost or what. Anyhow, we have to deal with such tools, right? Even we are going to use forensic toolkit, autopsy, oxygen suit, etc, etc. There are other tools like that. WinHex is also a legitimate tool, so don't worry. Using WinHex or any other forensic software to analyze a file recovered from a suspect's drive or data will not compromise the file or its integrity if the software is used correctly and the appropriate precautions are taken. Okay, so as we know that WinHex will give 45 days of trial, and after that you need to purchase the license, but there are websites or some software providers who will give you the crack versions, so you can use that crack versions after 45 days only for the practice purpose. Okay, but never use those crack version in your real forensic investigations. Even I don't suggest of using for your learning purposes. Just you have 45 days of learning and it is not going to take you much time. Download it and use it for 45 days. Once you have the knowledge of it, then okay, but don't go with any crack version. Even for the practice purpose, don't go. Just go with the original software which is available on the official website. However, it is important to follow proper procedures to ensure that the evidence is not compromised in any way. So this is all about file extensions and file signature, that is magic marker, using WinHex. That's it. Thank you.